They do. Today we're being joined by Ebony Bilcich from the Peel Thunder WAFLW Football Club. Ebony, thanks for coming on.
No, thank you for having me.
No, it's any time. Now, normally I start with the same question, but Ebony, with your last, I'm sure you've had it pronounced, and I probably stuffed it up then, pronounced wrong, had it spelt wrong, had all these variations of spellings and pronunciations. To set the record straight, Ebony, how do you pronounce your last name?
Bilcich.
Bilcich. There we go. I got it that time. Now, tell us a bit about your footy journey, Ebony. What kind of got you into footy and what type of position you play?
So what got me into football was my dad played for East Fremantle, the Sharks. Won a few premierships in there, captain it, and really inspired me to get into football. So that's how I started my journey there. And I really enjoy the midfield ruck rover role.
Very nice. So obviously being at Peel Thunder since 2020, is it? Is that right in saying around that time?
Yep.
So how did that opportunity come about to join Peel Thunder?
So I was lucky enough that Ben Howlett at the time was head of the women's program, I'm pretty sure, and he reached out, contacted me to catch up for a talk to discuss whether I wanted to come and join the women's program, which I thought was a really good opportunity. And yeah, that's how I ended up at Peel.
Very good. Now, obviously, yourself individually, you had a terrific season, winning your club best and fairest the other night last week. How was that night, Ebony, for you? And did you see this coming, or was it, up in the air with some other players?
It was actually really, I thought, close between two of the other girls, Evie Coucher and Ebony Chippy Dowson, because I think that they've had really good seasons as well. To be able to come away with the best and fairest is really humbling, but really exciting and very privileged to have received it.
So how was the night overall as for yourself and as a club?
Really good. I think everyone was really looking forward to it, upbeat about, the season that we just had, even though it wasn't as successful. And it was good to see everyone again after, a couple of weeks off.
That's right. So obviously, from the team point of view, Ebony obviously struggled in terms of the win-loss column. But when I had a bunch of the girls on throughout the season, they were talking about, it's not always about that. It's about, connecting, and it's about, building those margins in terms of the losing margin from where they were to, bring them in and get competitive. And then obviously there's some results later on in the year that were pleasing, I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%. We went into every game expecting or hoping to win the game, as all teams do. But we also knew that this season was going to be a lot of development and developing our younger girls into the competition. And we're hoping for a few more wins, but with a lot of injuries early to some experienced players, we just had to rely on a lot of the juniors. And I think a lot of them did step up, and to everyone's credit, it was really positive, and we did improve. And I thought got really close to a few of the comp's leading teams towards the end of the year.
That's right. Obviously, you're 66 games into your WAFLW career, Ebony. So did you feel, would you mention some of the experienced players also being injured, that you were kind of a really big influence in terms of leadership as well, being one of the more mature players of the team?
I definitely think I had to step up a little bit in the leadership role, which I'm hoping if the girls were to say that I did a good job. But yeah, it was a really good challenge for me, and I think for a few of the older girls as well, to have to step up and be a leader in helping the girls develop, also be able to stay positive and come back every week, which again, to a lot of their credit, they were able to do that themselves.
That's right. There's a saying that goes around, short-term pain for long-term gain. Must be proud, though, to see that you mentioned some of the names like Evie Coucher and obviously Holly Britton, Georgia Haynes, some of the girls that have been in the WA State Championship squad for the under-18s this year. Must be proud to kind of see them grow as well. And long-term, it could be a benefit for that short-term pain.
100%. And, mentioning Holly Britton and Georgia as well, I think them growing with the group, they've also become leaders themselves, and they're now helping, the Rogers girls who are pushing for some spots come through, and girls like Dakota Sexton as well coming through. It's really encouraging to see.
So who would you say is some of those of your favourite teammates at the club?
For that's a tough question.
There'll be plenty more hard teammate questions, Ebony. You're saying the only one.
Well, I'll definitely have to go Chippy. She's a bit of I think she's a bit of a loose unit and pretty funny when she wants to be. I think she hides it sometimes, but she's very funny.
Yeah.
And Crystal Carter, she is one that not only is funny, but is also, I think, a very good leader and helps a lot of the girls as well. So probably those two would be some of my favourite teammates.
Very nice. Now, this answer could go a whole range of ways. Who loves the limelight, the attention, the camera at Peel Thunder? They can't get enough of it, and they know what they're doing when cameras are around. And as you mentioned, with a lot of the younger girls at the club, I'm sure there's plenty of them.
I reckon if you were to ask anyone in the team, they're going to say me, and I promise you it's not me.
Okay.
Who could it be? Buckets. I reckon Chelsea Hutchison Buckets wouldn't mind a bit of camera time. Knows where it is, I think.
Yeah. I've had Chelsea on a while back with Riley Fisher at the same time with a joint interview, and they were very excited, let's just say, to come on, especially at the same time. And I just knew from that moment how much I loved it, just the way they were speaking. And even maybe it was because they were together, but I could just tell they did.
Yeah, no, I think they've got a bit of a cheeky side to them, so they love to get into that bit of a camera vision or on the photos, yeah.
Absolutely, that's for sure. Since we're on the topic of teammates still, so who would you say is the best chatterbox at the club?
Chatterbox. Oh, who loves it? Oh, you could probably say Gracie Fenton. Loves a chat, and I reckon also chats the coaches to try and get out of a few things that she doesn't like. Chatterbox away, I reckon she is.
That's interesting. Who would you say the coach's pet is? Would it be Grace?
Oh, she wouldn't be the coach's pet. I don't reckon we actually really have one. Oh. You know what? I'll say Keely Hare only because she's just won the coach's award. That's the only thing. I don't think we have one, but I'll just say that.
Well, that's a clearly, no matter who wins that award every year, they have to be in contention because they have won it for a reason. Falling in the right time, I guess. Now, loudest and quietest teammates.
Oh, quietest would 100% have to be Evie Coucher. She is one-on-one, fine. I think in a group, pretty quiet. Yeah. Loudest teammate would have to go to Gracie Fenton again or Greta McKinley.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, as you say, some people I feel like, as you mentioned with Evie, like some people are fine, as you said, one-on-one in a smaller group, but then when you come into a larger one, it's like, yeah, I'm not speaking, especially if it's like a stage setup or something, like a BNF night or something like that.
Yeah, she does all the polite, thanks and stuff, but I don't think she enjoys the attention and limelight, so I'd say she'd be quiet.
That's fair enough. Now, if you were stuck on a deserted island, Ebony, with teammates, who are you bringing and not bringing, and why?
I would 100% bring Chippy and Crystal because I think they're very responsible, and also I do think Crystal has a bit of a Navy background, so she would know how to do a lot of survival stuff.
Yeah.
Who I wouldn't bring, I would probably not bring my sister because we already annoy each other a lot of the time. We get seen enough of each other. Maybe not Gracie because I reckon she'll chat my ear off. Maybe.
Okay.
It could go either way for her because she could keep us entertained or she could chat our ear off.
It could work and it may fail, but I mean, unless it happens, you never know, I suppose. All right, who would you say is your toughest opponent, Ebony, that you've had to match on either this year or just in general?
Me personally, toughest opponent would probably be, I think, Zippy Fish. I know a lot of people talk her up and everything, and rightfully so. She's just very hard to match up, like with her speed, agility. She has quality skills, and I think can definitely change a game when needs to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, the choice that many people have said when I ask this question, especially from the same league in the WAFLW, but and fair enough too, because she's obviously a Phoenix playing, will be up there in the draft at the end of the year. Actually, still on the topic of teammates, who would you say some teammates that you feel that fly under the radar, Ebony, a little bit and don't get talked about as much as you feel they should?
I definitely think that Riley Fisher goes under the radar a lot. I think she does a lot of 1%ers and can maybe not show up on the stats, but gets a lot of the ball to our players through taps or shepherds. I think she goes under the radar a little bit. And even I think sometimes Holly Britton is still going under the radar. Like, I think they talked about her a little bit, but I do think she could be talked up more. I think she's got some real good qualities and has really stepped up this year.
Good. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot here, and you have to pick only one, not two or more. If you could pick, and there is going to be a couple of people that you would be tossing up between, which will make this very hard. If you can name one player right now, Ebony, that you're most confident in, or however you want to word it, that would make it onto an AFLW list, that's at your club right now, who would that player be?
It would have to be Coucher.
I thought you might have stumbled for a little bit because obviously there's a few others in that squad as well. So that's okay. Yeah. Good choice. And for the following year stuff, that's right. All right. So nicknames, Ebony, that you get that you like or dislike?
I definitely get Billy from Bilcich. I get that a lot. Ebs is pretty obvious. I don't really have a lot of nicknames, none that's bad or good. Crystal started calling me the Great Wall this year, which I thought was funny. But otherwise, yeah, usually just Billy and Ebs.
Yeah, nice. You like the name Brick Wall?
Great. Because at the start of the year, a lot of people couldn't break through my tackles during preseason, during drills, and end up a couple games during the season as well. So she started calling me the Great Wall.
Well, that's a good thing in a way. That's not a bad thing anyway. Now, obviously this year, the season didn't pan out from the wins-loss column, but what positives do you take out of this year, Ebony, to take into next year?
A lot of girls getting a lot of games into them and getting that experience of WAFL level, because I believe there is a bit of a jump between Rogers and League, just with the speed, the intensity, aggression. So a lot of those girls who maybe played 5 games last year got to play 15 this year, and able to build on that. I think that will come a long way in next season and seasons to come.
That's good. All right, what do you feel was the best individual game that you've played ever at any level? Or is it a game this year?
I'd probably have to say a game this year against East Perth. The first game we lost, but it was our first game against East Perth this year. Finished with, I think, 24 touches and 2 goals. The only reason I let that stand out is because it's also my first goal in WAFL Women's. So I was pretty excited about that. Ended up getting 2, so I'm going to take that one as my best game.
Absolutely. No, you never forget your first goal. No matter the margin, whether you win, you lose, you're 100 points down, no one will ever forget that moment. Or if it's one of those cheap goals out the back, or if it's a 50-metre penalty, it always will be remembered no matter how many times it happens. Now, you mentioned that was your first goal. So do you have a go-to goal celebration, Ebony, that you've now started working on this year from that moment or even prior to that?
I sometimes practice in my head what I think I'm going to do, and I definitely don't do it. So I really need to work on my goal celebrations, that's for sure.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, I've seen, I'm sure you've seen variations through games, through your own teammates, just through other sports in general. I mean, I've seen one, it's probably a generic one, it's a double cobra, but one that I haven't seen, Ebs, is one of my goal king challenges I did here. Someone pulled out an aeroplane. They literally just had their arms out like an aeroplane, started running around in three circles, I think it was. Would you be game to do anything like that, or anything that's not considered basic?
I probably would be, because I am a bit stupid like that sometimes, but I'd have to remember, and I can't remember a lot of the time either. It would just be in the moment. Like, I 100% did a double cobra with one of my goals. And it was just in the moment thing. So no matter how much I think, I could probably try.
No, that's good. I mean, now, speaking of goals, mark or goal of the year, Ebs, which one would you rather do and why?
I'd probably, I reckon, go for mark of the year, because I'm not the tallest. So if I can get a mark of the year, that means that, I've gotten up there somehow.
No, that's very true. Would you be one if you were to claim or mark or of a goal a year the contender? Would you be one to post about it or post it?
Yes, I probably would. And
Good.
if one of my friends posted, I would 100% share it.
Mm, absolutely. Good. That's the answer. I mean, everyone's different, of course, but I am one that would definitely gloat about it. And like, unless your name's Jeremy Howe or Eddie Betts, you're not doing mark or goal of the year contenders every week or every year.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to post it, but if it was a one-off, post it.
Especially if it's a one-off. Exactly right. I don't. Maybe some people, when they say they wouldn't, I think they're kind of lying and they just don't want to sound like they would. Or what some have said on here is they'll say, "Oh, I won't post it, but if someone else posts it, I might reshare it."
No, I would definitely be the one to do both.
Yeah, don't worry. So would I. It'd be filled. If about 10 people shared it, there'll be about 10 stories about it, pretty much, or posts, whatever it is. That's how it'd be. That's good fun. All right. Best goal you've ever got at any level. This doesn't have to be a waffle. This can be league. It can be mucking around at training. Be having a kick with someone. What's the best goal you've ever got?
Best goal I ever got, I think, was out of a ruck contest that I didn't even mean to be in. And it was in the pocket, and I've kind of just kicked it off the boot, and it's just floated, bananaed through the sticks.
Not bad. Not bad. That's good. So you mentioned before about things, in the moment you plan and never goes ahead. That must be something too. That you mentioned about not planning your own the ruck and it just happened. Well, it fits to what you said before.
Yeah, no, someone I think didn't nominate, so I just popped the hand up and just did it, and didn't mean to, but yeah, just happens.
That's good. Now, outside of this year's Best and Fairest for Peel, have you had any other footy accomplishments or premierships you've had throughout your time at any level?
So yeah, I've had 2 premierships with Peel Thunder in the 2020 and 21.
Yeah.
I was runner-up Best and Fairest in the 2020 season.
Mhm.
I won the overall Best and Fairest in our local comp for South Bunbury. I also captained an undefeated season, and we won the premiership that year. I won 2 Best and Fairest for South Bunbury. And yeah, that's all the football. I can go into some basketball, but I won't do that.
Okay, well, you just listed accolades. I had someone on a few months back, and they had mentioned I think it was, now they'll correct me if I'm wrong, it was 7 club Best and Fairest or 7 league ones or a mixture of both. It's like, how? It's a Especially this was all in the one league. This wasn't split. This was the one league. It was insane. No, but here we are. All right. Okay. Which AFL AFLW team do you support?
Fremantle Dockers.
Okay. Does that feel a bit more special considering that Peel is somewhat aligned with Freo, at least in the men's side of things?
Not really. I find Peel, now that I actually play for them, I feel like they're kind of separate clubs, even though they're connected. But I have been quite lucky in the fact that I've been able to see a few of them play for Peel to come through, and having Justin Longmire come down to the actual club to watch. It's kind of a bit, you get a bit starstruck sometimes. So it's pretty cool in that, but I see them as 2 separate clubs.
That's fair. How do you feel that the Dockers are going in the men's competition this year? They're obviously going pretty well. They're in the 8.
I think they're going really well, but I do think that the way that they play some weeks, they sometimes can't back it up. But I'm not involved, it's just from watching. But it's so hard between 2nd and 13th. It's only 2 games and maybe a percent. So I think they're doing good.
That's right. And I mean, it's really, unless you're Sydney or Carlton, no one's locked in for the 8 this year, it's a really good thing from watching. But of course, the one year that my team, St Kilda, is not involved in that conversation had to be this year of all years when you could be 12th or 10th and you're still a real chance. Because normally at this point, really 6, 7, maybe 8, or maybe not 8, 6 or 7 are locked in. Forget the order, but like 6 or 7 of the teams are locked in, and you're fighting with 3 teams for 1 spot. But this year, 3rd's up for bloody grabs still.
Yeah, it's, I think, really good to see that the comp is just so tight and so unpredictable. And I think a lot of us said that last season, how it was very unpredictable, but this season's even harder. And it's so good to see because it makes, I find, the games more exciting because you just can't pick it.
That's right, and it makes it well more important as well. Now, go back to yourself from a football point of view. What would you say is your biggest strengths as a footballer? I'm going to assume it's going to include the tackling as well.
Yeah, I'd say tackling is a bit of a strength of mine, but I'd also like to think a bit of game awareness or perspective and my vision. I do think my skills, my skill set can also be pretty good as well.
Nice, very good. All right, now this is the hot topic food questions, Ebony, where I don't know what it's with people here in Australia, Ebony. They get so worked up over these food questions. Now, for context, only 13 people, might be 14, 13 people have answered all 6 questions correct to how I would answer them. Only 8 people have said the illogical wrong answer for this first question. And the lowest score anyone's ever gotten is so many people on 3. So you wouldn't want to be the first to go on this fake honours board behind me and have your name engraved on there as the first person or a person to get less. Now, how are you with food before we start her up?
I'd like to say good, but now I'm a bit worried with how you presented this.
Honours board's empty. Yeah. Now, I don't want to add anyone to it. Now, so the first one, and the most important one, Ebony, and also I'm going to add more pressure. No one from Perth has said the wrong answer for this first one.
Oh, God, okay.
Yeah. Now, I think you'll be safe. Well, we'll see. Chicken palmy. Is it a palmy or is it something else?
No, it's chicken palmy.
Oh, thank Christ. I just thought the pause was like, oh, no. I thought
it's chicken palmy.
No, I know. I'm glad you're keeping that trend coming. Here from Victoria, I hate the people that say the other stupid answer because there's 2 reasons I say to them, or 2 logical things. I'll say, okay, spell it out for me. It's an I. And pronounce it. It's an I. So any other answer is stupid, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
No.
Good, 2 for 2. You just need one more to be safe. No honours board. One more. Okay. What was it? Yeah. Tomato sauce, cupboard or fridge?
We leave it in the cupboard, but it does say on the bottle to put it in the fridge, but I leave mine in my cupboard.
Okay. I personally don't mind either way, but I like cupboard. So you got it, and you're now officially safe from being dead last. So that's good. But we want a perfect 6. Now, favourite food?
Mum's homemade fettuccine.
Not bad. Well, fettuccine is good, so that's a tick for me. So that's 4 for 4. So good job. Food you don't like?
I tell myself I'm not picky, but I've got a couple. I'm not a huge fan of pickles, avocado, and cauliflower, I guess.
Again, I'm going to stress this enough as the previous person I had on. I want to stress enough. I haven't given Ebony the list of answers to not mention or to mention. We're good, 5 for 5. Now, the last one. I think we're getting 6 out of 6 because this one should be safe, unless you say something completely random that I've never heard of before. Favorite takeaway place / restaurant?
Recently, Sombreros. Been really enjoying that.
No, it's just safe. Now, for a rare bonus point, which not many people have got, what is your go-to order? So you've automatically got 6 out of 6, but to get a 7, if out of 6 that's even possible, what's your go-to order?
Go to for burrito wrap with the rice, lamb. Get the most of the salads except the jalapenos and olives and sour cream.
Ooh. I liked where that started, and then a little bit shaky with this. I like jalapenos, but I don't. Whatever. Sour cream. Okay. Screw it. You're going to be the 3rd person to get 7 out of 6. Good job. I don't mind that. That's some good answers there, and I mean, at least there wasn't something odd out of that mixture. All right. So, most prized possessions that you own.
Oh, most prized. I don't.
Would it be the medal you got the other night?
Yeah, I reckon one would be my first premiership with Peel, the medal. First premiership medal with Peel would be a prized possession. And some jewellery that I got from my grandma.
Very nice. All right. So, favourite TV shows or movies?
Favorite movie would be Rocky, or you can even say Rocky franchise. I love all those movies.
Yep.
Favorite TV show, probably maybe Criminal Minds.
Ah, nice, very good. Are you one of those people like myself that has a series like a show like Criminal Minds, for example, in your case, that you watch it over and over again, and you would be one to watch it again, or would you just watch it once and that's it, or would you be one to binge it again at some point?
Oh, I'd be willing to binge it again at some point, yeah.
Are you one of those people too that remembers scene after scene if you were to watch something again? And like, okay, he's about to get hit in the head in 3, 2, 1, boom.
No, I'm terrible. It will take me a while to remember what happened in the episode, or maybe until halfway through. I'm so bad.
Okay, well that's a good thing in a way if you want to watch it again, because like myself and some other people that I mentioned that said the same thing. I hate being too smart in remembering what's happening if I'm rewatching something, because 99% of the time I'll remember every scene, every bloody moment, like that countdown thing. So like it like ruins it. Like you're remembering too much.
Yeah.
Just like whatever. Okay, all right. If you could have any superpowers, what superpowers would they be?
Oh, I'd say maybe to turn invisible.
That'd be so just like John Cena then.
Can't see me.
That's it. I'm glad you did that. If you didn't. All right, good job. Now that's going to be a good one. All right, favorite app on your phone?
Oh, at the moment, probably TikTok.
Okay. Now, why? Now, I'm the same age as you, so this is a perfect question to ask you. What appealed you to it, and have you had it for a while?
I haven't had it for a while. The only reason I got it was because my friends had it and they wanted to keep showing me stuff, so I just downloaded it.
Okay, so it was more off someone else kind of making you, well, not making you, but like forcing you to look, and then it's just like at that point, just screw it, I'll just download it, because from my page at least, people have been saying, oh, you should get it. I'm like, no, I don't want that crap. And I got as far as about a year ago to make the account with the name and picture and everything, and that's as far as it's gone. I can't get to it.
Yeah, I just definitely decided to screw it, watch it, and now I just haven't got to watch it all the time.
That's fair enough. I got off that stuff. Okay, now heights. Are you one to be scared of heights, or you thrive on the being up so far in the air?
Nah, I'm scared of heights. I'm not a huge fan. I can go on a roller coaster, but if you ask me to bungee jump, not in your lifetime.
Oh, no. Hey, I don't like going on planes or buildings that are so high, let alone a freaking that. Good God. No chance in hell. You couldn't pay anyone, well, you couldn't pay me $1 million to do that. Not a chance in hell. What do you see yourself accomplishing within the next 5 years?
Hopefully another few premierships with Peel. Possibly eventually captain the side when Chippy retires, maybe.
Yeah, nudge. Just give it a nudge. Or you can say you can keep playing, but relinquish that role line, and you just step down and enjoy however long you got left.
And then maybe travel a bit more. I'd like to travel a bit more too.
Very nice. Any particular places to travel?
I wouldn't mind going back to America and maybe even New Zealand.
Nice. Very good. The reason I ask that is because there's always 3 options, or 3 main ones I always hear: America, England, or Bali. I don't know. I keep hearing that a lot for some reason. Again, never can get around to that either, but I see that happening a lot these days. Okay. Have you ever had any WAFLW player interactions as a fan, or while as a player?
Yeah, I'd say I'd have had a couple now that I'm evolving into the waffle side of things. Yeah.
Is there any particular players that come to mind, and if so, were there any memorable or forgettable moments?
I think most recently that I can remember was Jess Hosking for the Eagles now, and she was at the Waffle Awards night, and she
Yes.
played the flute through her nose. That was
Oh,
quite
yes.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did watch that that whole event, and I did see that, and that's a Hosking thing to both of them. I've met both of them before. That is typical to have them to have those interesting things, and I mean, you just have to follow their Instagram to know. And it's good to have people like them, and there's plenty more like that that are up and about. I like people that are like them in that case, where they're doing all these interesting things outside of just playing, of course.
Yeah, it makes them seem more human, like us.
Yes, exactly right. It absolutely does. All right, so I got some more questions, a few more real pressure coming on now. Defenders, Ebony, I feel like they don't get as much love as they feel that they should. Obviously, the forwards got the Coleman, the mids got Brownlows and Rucks. I get recognising Brownlow versus these. Do defenders, in particular at the AFL and AFLW level, should there be their own official title of an award for the defenders as well?
I think so. I think they need to be recognised. If the goal kickers get a goal kicking award, I think defenders like Spud or Danny Frawley said, the maybe Golden Fist, award.
Yeah. That's what I like. That. I mean, at first they might have taken the piss out of that award, but it's legitimately, and it's something they really should look at now, because I feel like it would be something really good that they could honour him in a way as well, and generally give them a natural award, because you don't see them in Brownlow votes, for example. You'll see all Australian defenders getting like 3 votes in a year, and then you'll go compare it to, say, a fringe player. They might have had one good game the whole season and has polled more votes, and then when you look at it, it just looks stupid when you look at it like that, because you wouldn't say, oh, he got 3 Brownlow votes and this All-Australian defender got none, so the fringe player was better because he got more votes that way. It sounds odd. But
yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, and I definitely think that defenders need to be recognised a bit more in that aspect.
in saying that, when I did play, I was a forward, and that's all the things that are good, kicking goals and having goal celebrations and kicking goals in the pocket. That's the things that I like about the most. But now that I haven't been playing, I do understand all that now. All right. Now, game day superstitions. Do you have any game day superstitions Ebony, that you must do?
I must put my socks on first, and then my boots.
Yep.
And my breakfast pretty much has to be the same.
No, very nice. What would happen then if the food you would want to have gets changed? Like, for example, if it was something to do with eggs, hypothetically, let's say, and you ran out of eggs, or the machine was broken if it was a coffee or something like that. What would you do to alternate, or would you be just completely screwed because you haven't been able to do the way or what you want to do?
I think if I can keep my socks and shoes routine, then I'll be completely fine. As soon as, if the breakfast changes and then I have to change my socks and shoes, then I'll probably be a bit all over the place. But socks and shoes, if that stays the same, completely fine, I reckon.
Very good. Favorite music?
It'd have to be something that you can sing along to, for sure.
Okay. So you're a singer going off that?
Oh, I can't sing, but I just enjoy doing it.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. Now, if your teammates were to describe you in a word or a sentence, how would they describe you?
Funny, leader, childish. Something like that, I reckon.
Childish is interesting. Care to elaborate on that, on why they would call you that, or hint at calling you that?
I just think that my humour can be a bit childish, and I think that I can, just do something that makes you just want to shake your head like, why?
Interesting, fair enough. Now, jump scaring people, speaking about trying to annoy people and work people up, has anyone ever fell victim to that at the club, and does anyone continuously try and do that, or ever? But I've seen a lot of the AFLW players, especially the Swans girls, it seems to be a ritual for them to do that every time they're there to try and scare people. Does that happen at the club, and have you fell victim to it?
I haven't felt victim to it. Whether someone is trying to do it, I'm not sure, but I do know that I do it to other people, and they fall. I
had a feeling you might have done that. Okay, have you successfully nailed some victims for that?
I've definitely got Tanisha, I've got Bridie, and I've got Gian, and my sister Holly. I've got her all the time.
Yeah, you had more chances that to get Holly as well. Now, all right. So, jumper number. What jumper number do you wear? Is there any significance behind the jumper number?
I wear number 17. There's no significance, but I like to stick with it through Peel because it's my first jumper that I've received at WAFLW women's level.
Very nice. Yeah, that sometimes you stick with one and you want to stay with that. Two more for you. So, celebrity crush.
I'd have to say Michael B. Jordan.
Okay. Now, no, two more. I had a bonus one. Now, he might get mentioned here again. Now, if you could go to dinner, dead or alive, with three famous people, who would you want to take?
Yeah, I'll go Michael B. Jordan. I would go with Michael Jordan, the basketball legend.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And Jesus.
Okay. Nice. All right. Now, the last one's the pressure coming on. So, if you were now you're in charge, you're the WAFLW CEO, you make those rules. You can change anything you want. What are you adding and or removing?
I would probably like to add to the women's comp that we're now fully timed. It'd be good to be able to play the game like the men's fully timed now that we've increased it to 20 minutes. Yep. What I'd like to change, I heard this the other day actually, and I quite like the idea that I think Hamish Brayshaw is the one that said it about the rucks. They can pretty much do anything they want in the ruck besides, hitting them in the head and, no free kicks. They can pull at jumpers, they can shove, just not get them in the head.
Yeah, that's now one I want to add for you, Ebony, is the one where you mentioned the time, so I'm glad you brought it up. It's like where the time doesn't stop. Would you be one that wants the time stopped, like what they do at AFLW? I feel like, I don't know if you girls were involved in one this year, but I know the districts were this year, early point in the season, where I don't know who they were playing. They were down by like 2 points. It was a minute and a half to go. They had the ball out like 70 metres, 65 metres out from their goal on the boundary. They had a mark or whatever. And then there was a play for the other team, injured, killing it a minute and a half. And then as soon as the siren went, boom, they jumped up. And obviously they couldn't get the distance. Do you feel like the time should be something they should add where the time stops, so it eliminates that possibility of people trying to kill time on purpose?
Yeah, I definitely think now that the competition has grown that they can add that into the comp, even if they have to maybe bring it back down from 20 to 18 or 17 minutes to then practice or bring into the stop clock. I definitely think that, players and coaches are smart enough to use those type of situations if they're up by a point or down. Yeah. So I think it's a good idea to start to bring in now that the comp has grown.
Absolutely. I agree. I mean, you would eliminate that chance of exploiting the rules. Ebony, it's been a pleasure having you on. All the best for the upcoming season later on next year, and I appreciate you coming on.
No, thank you so much for having me.
No, it's anytime.